Hi everybody, Carissa here with Inky Fairy Designs for the Blitsy creative team today, and today we're going to be creating a mixed media canvas, but we're going to be using the back side of the canvas instead of the front of the canvas, and this works great on your stretched canvases that have this kind of back on it where it's got a thick side and everything. So we're going to flip that over and we're going to use this back side almost like a shadow box effect. And so I'm just taking some Liquitex gesso and I am priming the entire back side of this canvas, all of the wood, all of the canvas, because this is all of the unprimed canvas. But even if I was working on the front side, which is pre-primed, you know me, I'm going to put gesso on it anyway because I like my Liquitex gesso and I know how my mediums are going to react on it. And so this is just how I start every single project. I just recently got these DecoArt media misters and I'm in love with them, and I wanted to show you how cool they are for creating some really pretty backgrounds. So I'm taking two colors here and I am spraying them on, and then I'm adding some water to really get them very liquid and moving across the canvas almost like a watercolor. And I will tilt my canvas. You can see I tilt it different ways to let that water move and create those really beautiful organic drips. And some spots that I felt were too heavy, I just took a baby wipe and kind of soaked them up, and then I'll add more and just until I am happy. So I'm bringing in a third color. I thought it needed a pop of some warmth. So I brought in this primary magenta, and it mixes well with both of those cool colors. It'll turn like a purple with that primary cyan, I think it is. And then with the yellow green, it kind of makes a burgundy, more of a richer red. So I let that set aside and dry, and now I'm coming in and I'm taking a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. This is the, I think it's the Bold pen, and I am just kind of doodling outside around some of the formations that the misters made on my canvas. This is kind of new for me, but it was really fun to just do some doodling, and all I'm doing really is kind of outlining some of the areas that caught my attention and giving them some more definition. And this is just adding some interest and texture to my background, as well as giving me some time to think about where I'm taking this, because right now I'm thinking I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with the rest of this, so let's just add some doodling. And that's something that you can do whenever you're working with mixed media, is do these kind of background building techniques. Doodling is a great one. As you're working and doodling, the ideas will start to flow and you will know what you want to do next. So now I'm going to take some archival ink and this watering can and this Just Right script stamp, which is one of my favorites. You guys see me use it a lot. And I'm just going to add some more texture on the background with that stamp. It's just such a pretty text stamp. It's kind of scripty, old school, reminds me of like Old English, you know, it's, I don't know what I'm talking about. Cursive is just super pretty. And then I'm taking this Dina Wakley stamp from her Strong Women, I think, stamp set, and I just love these dots. I just love using them. And I'm taking some of her Heavy Body white acrylic paint and just bringing in some white areas onto that really rich, colorful background. And then I'm going to take this new to me stencil. It's a clarity stencil. It's called Lanterns or Hanging Lanterns or something. I loved the circles and the stripes. They're just so pretty, and I am taking some of this Prima texture paste. It's called Graphite, and it's so pretty. It looks really kind of gray here as it goes on, and it's very, very gritty. If you could hear this kind of scratching along my canvas as I'm using my palette knife through the stencil, it's super gritty and textury. It's really, really gorgeous. And I ended up taking that along you know, towards the bottom as that other layer dried. But it dries super sparkly, you'll see in the pictures. So I really wanted to show you this weathered wood crackle medium by DecoArt. I just recently was introduced to it and I'm in love with it, and I wanted to show you how cool of an effect it is. So I'm taking this, I think it's green gold. It's one of the DecoArt Media Line paints. It's a semi-transparent paint, very, very fluid, that's the word I'm looking for, and I'm just painting that entire outside of the canvas, making sure to get the edges because we want to make sure that we get all of those edges painted so it's kind of really nice and cohesive wherever we end up hanging it. So now once that layer is dry, I'm taking that weathered wood crackle medium. It's this clear, liquidy, glossy looking stuff, and I'm painting it all along the sides, concentrating really on that flat side, but I am putting a little bit on the edges just so that we can get a little bit of that crackle effect along the sides. And you really want to get a nice even coat. Be very generous with this medium. It is so pretty once you see what it does, and I really, really, really like it. So you just want to make sure you get a nice even coat, and you want to let that dry completely. Don't use a heat tool or anything like that. You can set it outside. I live in Colorado, so it's pretty dry here and it dries pretty fast, but I ended up letting this dry overnight. Now I'm coming in the morning and I'm taking a contrasting color, this really pretty, I believe it's primary blue. I'll have the complete color list on the Blitsy blog. But I want to mention that when you use this over the crackle medium, you want to use a very opaque paint. You don't want to use the fluid acrylics. It's not going to give you a very pretty crackle look. You want to use a more thick, opaque paint on top, and a contrasting color really makes this effect pop. So you can already see the crackles form instantly as you paint on that layer, which is the part I love. I don't have to set it aside and let it dry again. It happens immediately. It just reacts to that paint, and you can see those pretty kind of wood textured crackles that happen. So pretty. I love it. You guys need to try this stuff. So now I'm going to come in with this paint pen, and I'm going, I think it's by Sakura, and I'm going to kind of outline the full circles of the stencil. I just really wanted to highlight the full circles and kind of let the other ones fade into the background a little bit more. And so I'm just going around, not very particular, and I think you're going to see a little hand here. That's my son. He loves to sit behind me when I am kind of creating, and that's the first time his hand kind of snuck into the video. So that's the life of a mom artist, is that they, you know, we just do these things wherever we can, and I like to be able to share that process with my kids. So now I'm going to do some doodling, journaling around these very textured, the stencil, and I don't even remember what quote I chose. I think it's remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. Love that quote. And yeah, I always look at my Pinterest quotes when I'm working on something and I want to add some type of quote or sentiment to it. So I'm taking these butterflies and I'm just adding some more of that same texture stamp, that same scripty stamped, with some black archival ink, and it just kind of ties it together. Even though the background is very light and subtle, it really does tie the whole piece together. So I took some silver thread and I just felt like I wanted to use it on my canvas. It's been sitting on my desk forever, and I'm just kind of using some matte gel medium and adhering it down to my canvas, and then I'm putting some more of that medium on these. I think they're by Studio Calico these butterflies. You could use wood veneers, you could use anything for this. Really, these are just things that I had lying around, and I'm just kind of going to cascade those butterflies across my canvas. Yeah, I just really wanted to show you guys the really cool DecoArt media line. This is the first time that I've really been able to play with it and show you guys the really pretty mists that I love because they are acrylic based, and so they are permanent once you spray them on and they dry, which is pretty unique, I think, for a mister, color mister, because a lot of them are water based or water soluble, and so they will reactivate when you try to put layers on top, and these don't, which is awesome. So you can see I could put that gel medium, rub it around, and it doesn't move, which is fantastic. So now I added some more quotes on there. This is from the Tim Holtz, what's it called? I have it right here. The Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers. Lots of fun quotes in there, and they have them in both white and black, so whatever your piece is. I added some more white paint pen, and then I wanted to come in with the Aqua all-in-one pencil and darken that up, give it some more shadows around it, and then I didn't really like that, and so I went back in with a gel pen and also the white paint pen again. So as you can tell with mixed media, I kind of try things, I don't like it, I add other things, I'll go back and add more of those things, and it really is just a preference until you're happy with what you've created, and I am pretty happy with it at this point. After this was all dry, I did hit it with a spray sealer just to make sure everything stays in place. It gives it really nice glossy shine. It's by Americana. I'll have that all listed on the Blitsy blog for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to create this kind of shadow box effect using the reverse side of a canvas, which you might not normally think to use, but it's really fun to do. I hope that inspired you and encourages you to take a look at your canvases in a new way. For more ideas and inspiration, be sure to visit the Blitsy blog as well as our Facebook page. And until next time, guys, happy crafting.